After our parents died, Lucy demanded we split up the family property, but by accident we found a box our parents had buried underground. Inside was a pair of jade beast rings. One had a little black snake carved on it, and the other had a little mutt. Lucy snatched the mutt ring first and left me the black snake ring. Lucy said the mutt was loyal and would definitely bring her money luck, so she kept stuffing it with food, making it spit out gold coins so she could live like a rich heiress. But Lucy had zero self-control with money. She kept forcing the mutt to make more and more gold, and in the end, the poor thing couldn't take it anymore and exploded. As for the little black snake, it survived by stealing other people's fortune and feeding it back to me. But that never sat right with me, so I barely used it and worked my way up on my own until I became a billionaire CEO. I never expected Lucy to get so jealous that she'd push me off a high place without a second thought. If you hadn't stolen my black snake, I'd be the billionaire CEO right now, not you. When I opened my eyes again and saw Lucy playing with the mutt ring in her hand like she couldn't care less, I knew right away I'd been reborn. I looked down. In my last life, the carvings on the rings only turned into real animals after Lucy and I claimed them with blood. But now, before I even blood bonded mine, the little black snake had already slipped free from the ring and was coiling around my thigh, flicking its tongue. One look at that venomous stare, and a chill ran straight down my spine. This time, Lucy wasn't treating the mutt ring like the treasure she thought it was in my last life. Jack, neither of us has blood bonded our ring yet, so why did your black snake come out already? I want to trade with you. The second Lucy said that, the black snake's triangular eyes lit up. It even slid off my leg on its own and started slowly crawling toward her. But in my last life, the two little beasts only came out after Lucy and I finished the blood bond. Watching that snake curl its mouth into an almost human smile, I understood in an instant. I wasn't the only one who had been reborn. The black snake had come back too. As soon as the snake slithered toward her, Lucy threw the mutt ring on the ground, yanked the beast ring out of my hand, and wrapped the black snake around her own neck. Come on, Jack, you're the older brother. Letting me have it shouldn't be a problem, right? Besides, this black snake is all sleek and shiny. It totally matches me. A country bumpkin like you fits way better with that little mutt. Before I could even say a word, Lucy impatiently dripped her blood onto the jade ring. Then she froze for a second, and the next moment, she clapped her hands and shouted in excitement. My black snake can steal other people's fortune and feed it back to me. If I go after rich people worth tens of millions, I'll definitely live like a rich heiress for the rest of my life. Lucy hugged the black snake tightly to her chest and looked at me like I was about to steal it back. I calmly bent down and picked up the mutt ring from the floor. Then let me be the first to congratulate you on your rich girl life. After that, I stopped paying attention to Lucy and blood bonded with the mutt ring instead. The second my blood touched it, everything turned out exactly like I'd guessed in my last life. The two rings had completely different abilities. The mutt ring turns food into gold. The more it eats, the more gold it spits out. But if it eats too much, it can't fully convert the food into gold anymore, and instead it bursts to death. Looking at the unbelievably cute little mutt that had come out of the carving, I gently patted its head. This time, let's live a good life together. After Lucy and I split up, I looked at my skinny arms and said to the adorable little mutt in my hands, Buddy, I'm seriously starving. I'm gonna need you to help me out with 1 gold coin. The mutt barked a few times. I held out the moldy, rock-hard biscuit from my bag to its mouth. The little guy didn't mind at all. It opened wide, swallowed it whole, and spat out a gold coin for me. I took that gold coin straight to a pawn shop and traded it for tens of thousands in cash. Holding that thick stack of money, I couldn't help thinking back to my last life. The black snake used to steal other people's fortune and feed it back to me, but I never liked it. It just felt wrong. And the black snake's power didn't come free either. It didn't eat normal food. It lived by feeding on its owner's blood and vitality. That's when I understood why it had taken the initiative to leave the ring after being reborn. Only by doing that could Lucy see how useful it was, so it wouldn't end up stuck with me again this life. Because I never relied on the jade ring. I became a billionaire CEO purely through my own ability. In my last life, I worked myself to the bone every single day, learning, running the company, and studying project after project. Sometimes I got so busy I didn't even have time to eat. Even though I had more money than I could ever spend back then, I ended up with a terrible stomach disease. If I ate anything even a little cold or a little spicy, I'd be in the hospital almost immediately. But now, with the money I got from the mutt, I happily bought myself a huge pile of ice cream, plus all the spicy snacks I'd craved in my last life. After I ate my fill, I didn't rush to start building my fortune again based on my memories from my last life. Instead, I bought a plane ticket, started traveling the world, enjoyed life, and made up for everything I'd missed before. I didn't squeeze the mutt dry like my idiot sister did. She couldn't wait for it to grow stronger, so she forced it to turn food into gold, and in the end, it exploded. She spent money like crazy every day, and even after the mutt was gone, she still couldn't control herself. Eventually, she ended up broke and miserable. As for me, I still had all the experience I gained from running a company in my last life. So even without the jade ring this time, I could still make my way back to the top. And even though I never forced the mutt to turn food into gold, the little glutton still spat out plenty of coins for me. With those coins, I'd already built up a fortune worth several million. Meanwhile, Lucy had already used the black snake to steal other people's fortune and worked her way up to becoming an executive at an investment firm. Any stock she picked would take off like crazy, and before long, Lucy became the stock market's golden girl. But looking at Lucy's face on the news, even with all that heavy foundation on, I could still see how exhausted she looked. That's when I knew Lucy hadn't actually studied stocks carefully at all. She was relying entirely on the black snake stealing other people's fortune and passing it on to her. Lucy didn't even try to hide it. She started live streaming and telling investors to buy whatever stock she picked, saying she was going to help everyone get rich together. A bunch of online experts immediately started blasting Lucy, saying she was just on a lucky streak, and if she kept leading ordinary investors through live streams, sooner or later she'd lose everything and make a complete mess of it. But Lucy didn't care at all. If anything, she doubled down and started streaming even more stock picks. Lose everything? Do you have any idea how much money I'm making right now? Do you know how much the people watching my stream have made? When I'm richer than all of you, let's see if you still dare run your mouths online. The experts were so mad their faces turned red, and they kept cursing Lucy, saying she'd fall off her pedestal sooner or later. Meanwhile, I used the money from the mutt, plus all the business experience from my last life, to slowly start entering the stock market too. But this wasn't my end goal. I wasn't obsessed with becoming a billionaire CEO anymore because living like that was just exhausting. Besides, in my last life, after I really did become a billionaire CEO, the parents who were supposed to have been dead for years suddenly showed up at my door. A billionaire CEO with parents back from the dead, plus all that money? People online were insanely jealous. But what no one knew was that the first thing my parents did when they saw me was try to take all my assets and use the black snake to drain the fortune off my body. If I hadn't been unbelievably tough back then and fought back with everything I had, my own parents would have stripped me to the bone. While I was investing in the stock market, Lucy naturally noticed that I was traveling all over the world every day, barely paying attention to market trends. Yet every random stock I pointed at seemed ready to explode. And when she saw that I was even splitting $1 million across several different stocks, she immediately called me. What? You want to make money in the market by following me too? Look at you, all cheap and cautious. Is your little mutt really that useless? If I were you, I'd dump it already. Just watch my live stream and invest with me. I didn't argue. I just smiled and humored Lucy. By then, thanks to my investments, my assets had already climbed into the tens of millions, and my instincts and judgment were way sharper than they had been in my last life. I had more than enough money now, and the mutt's food was on a whole different level too. Abalone, seafood, whatever it wanted, I bought it all. And I still wouldn't let the mutt spit out gold for me. I rubbed its cute little head. I've got more than enough money now. You don't need to make gold for me anymore. Eat whatever you want. I'm not short on food, and I'm definitely not relying on your gold coins. And that reminded me, Lucy had gotten one thing right. The mutt really was loyal. Even when I flat out refused to let it make gold for me, it still secretly filled my safe with gold coins behind my back. As the days went by, Lucy got more and more popular until investors practically put her on a pedestal. By then, she'd also started her own company, and overnight became a billionaire CEO. One day, while I was still at home studying the market, Lucy suddenly came back. She was covered in so much jewelry that it practically blinded me. Then she reached over and smacked me on the head. Jack, do you know who called me today? I ignored her and just held my mutt while staring at the stock charts on my computer. Seeing that I wasn't responding, Lucy didn't get mad. It was our mom and dad. The moment I heard that, my whole body went cold and I almost dropped the mutt. What are you talking about? Mom and dad died a long time ago. If something as magical as these jade beast rings can exist in this world, why can't mom and dad come back too? I pretended to think it over for a moment. You're right, maybe mom and dad really did come back. Where are they? Take me to see them now. Lucy shoved my hand away in disgust, then even wiped the spot I touched with a tissue. Why would I take you to see them? They already said they only recognize me as their daughter. After all, I'm way more successful than you are. And besides, mom and dad didn't come back from the dead. They said our family is some hidden clan, and only outstanding kids like me get accepted. Someone like you doesn't even deserve to come back to the family. I instantly put on a disappointed look and covered my eyes like I was about to cry. Jack, you can't blame me for that. You're just not as good as I am. I didn't say a word. I just kept acting heartbroken. But after Lucy left, I raised my head, and there wasn't a single tear in my eyes. In my last life, when my parents came looking for me after I'd become a billionaire CEO, they didn't just demand that I transfer all my assets to them. They also wanted the black snake to drain my fortune, and they forced me to feed it my own blood and vitality. If I refused, they threw me into a pit of snakes and let countless little snakes tear into my body. That kind of bone-deep pain still feels fresh in my mind even now. And the whole hidden family story my parents told was a complete lie. They deliberately left the jade beast rings behind at home. It didn't matter whether Lucy or I got rich first. The second one of us did, they'd come back and take everything. So when I thought about Lucy going through the same thing this time, I felt absolutely no pity for her. I was holding the mutt and focusing on the stock market when it suddenly started barking. Then I heard the sound of a snake flicking its tongue. In my last life, I'd been tortured by that sound in the snake pit, so I instantly collapsed to the floor in fear. When I looked up toward the source, there it was. The little black snake was staring at me, flicking its tongue, with a mocking look that was almost human. I know you were reborn too. This time we stay out of each other's way. So why are you here? The black snake suddenly lifted its head high, propping itself up with its tail, hissing nonstop with pure malice in its eyes. I understood right away. It was holding a grudge because I hadn't let it feed on my blood and vitality in my last life. Don't push me. If I could seal you back into the jade ring in my last life, I can do it again in this one too. The mud also bared its teeth at the black snake. Right then, Lucy's anxious voice suddenly came from outside the door. Where's my black snake? Why is it gone? When Lucy pushed the door open, she saw me and the black snake glaring each other down. You shameless piece of trash! Did you see my black snake bringing me money and decide to hurt it on purpose? How can you be this evil? The second Lucy said that, the black snake instantly acted pitiful. It slithered up her leg and wrapped itself around her neck, its tongue even flicking across her lips. I felt sick on the spot. Just seeing those shiny scales coiled around Lucy's neck was enough to make my skin crawl. I picked up the mutt and said coldly, "Your black snake crawled into my room on its own. That disgusting thing? I don't even want to touch it." The black snake's triangular eyes instantly welled up with tears as it kept rubbing against Lucy's chin.